Imagine surviving a bullet aimed straight at you, only for the gun to misfire. A 1 in a million chance that changed the course of history. What if that miracle happened to someone who later became one of the most infamous figures in the world? This is the story of Adolf Hitler, a man whose life was spared by sheer luck, only for him to unleash unprecedented devastation on the world. What you're about to hear is not just a story of war, power and manipulation, but also a chilling dive into the darkest truths about the man who changed the course of history forever. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889, in Braunau am Inn, Austria. His early life was marked by tragedy and struggle. A mediocre student and a failed artist, he lived in poverty in Vienna, dreaming of becoming a painter, but rejected by art schools. During World War I, Hitler served as a soldier for Germany. In 1916, during a battle, he faced an unimaginable event. Hitler and his comrades were under heavy fire. A soldier from the opposing side aimed his rifle directly at Hitler. He pulled the trigger, but the gun jammed. Hitler survived, an event so rare it defied all odds. Some called it fate, others saw it as a cruel twist of destiny. If that gun had fired, history would have taken a very different path. This experience deeply influenced Hitler's belief in his own destiny. He saw himself as a man chosen to lead, a belief that would later fuel his rise to power. After the war, Germany was in turmoil. The Treaty of Versailles left the nation humiliated and economically devastated. Amid this chaos, Hitler joined the German Workers' Party, which he later transformed into the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or Nazi Party. Through fiery speeches, Hitler exploited Germany's despair. He blamed the Jews, communists and other groups for the country's problems. His oratory skills and propaganda painted him as Germany's saviour. By 1933, Hitler became the Chancellor of Germany. Within a year, he consolidated power, turning Germany into a dictatorship under his absolute control. Hitler's regime was built on lies, manipulation, and terror. One of the darkest truths about him was his obsession with racial purity. He believed in the superiority of the Aryan race and sought to eliminate anyone he deemed inferior. This belief led to the Holocaust, the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews and millions of others, including Romani people, disabled individuals, and political dissidents. Under Hitler's rule, Germany became a police state. The Gestapo, his secret police, instilled fear in the population. Any opposition was crushed, and even those suspected of disloyalty were imprisoned or killed. Hitler's vision of a greater Germany was built on the suffering of countless innocent lives. Hitler was not only a dictator, but also a military strategist. His initial successes in World War II were staggering. The Blitzkrieg tactic, a fast, powerful attack strategy, allowed Germany to conquer much of Europe within months. However, Hitler's overconfidence became his downfall. One of his gravest mistakes was invading the Soviet Union in 1941 during Operation Barbarossa. The harsh Russian winter and fierce resistance decimated German forces. Another major blunder was declaring war on the United States, bringing a new powerful enemy into the conflict. Behind the public persona of a fearless leader, Hitler battled numerous personal demons. He was plagued by paranoia, insomnia, and mysterious health issues. His reliance on drugs, administered by his personal physician, Dr. Theodor Morell, further deteriorated his mental and physical health. Despite his attempts to portray himself as a strong, invincible leader, those close to him described a man increasingly disconnected from reality. He made erratic decisions that hastened Germany's defeat. By April 1945, Berlin was surrounded by Allied forces. Hitler retreated to his bunker beneath the Chancellery. In those final days, he remained defiant, refusing to surrender even as Germany crumbled around him. On April 30th, 1945, Hitler married Eva Braun in a brief ceremony. Hours later, they both committed suicide. Hitler shot himself while Braun took cyanide. Their bodies were burned, ensuring they wouldn't be displayed as trophies by the advancing Soviet forces. The darkest truth about Adolf Hitler is not just the atrocities he committed, but the way he manipulated an entire nation into following his twisted vision. His story serves as a chilling reminder of how power, unchecked and unchallenged, can lead to unimaginable suffering. But perhaps the most haunting part of his story is that misfired bullet. If that gun hadn't jammed in 1916, would the world have been spared the horrors of his regime? Or was history destined to unfold this way? The answers remain a mystery, but the lessons are clear. Vigilance, critical thinking, and compassion are humanity's best defences against repeating such dark chapters. As we look back on the darkest truths of Adolf Hitler, let us remember the millions who suffered under his rule and ensure that history never repeats itself. Like this video if you found it insightful, share it to spread awareness, and subscribe for more stories that uncover the hidden truths of history.